They are.
Stevie arrived at work today and said, what about Everton, eh? What about them? This is how things are looking in the table so far after 3 games. They are at the bottom of the table with 0 points, but they're not alone on those 0 points right now. Southampton are keeping them company on that record so far. All right, let's get some predictions. Manchester United against Liverpool. Now, Stevie, I must come to you first because I know you were watching yesterday's show. It was pretty much a Manchester United sweep.
It's come back the other way, isn't it?
Yes.
I was thinking that myself. Not one went for Liverpool, but we've come to our senses. How see?
Ask Shaka. Ask Shaka. What was his thing?
Keir just popped up with a Liverpool win. What was that yesterday?
I wasn't even on there yesterday.
I'm wondering.
But I consulted Stevie Nicol, and guess what? Liverpool are going to win this one. Don't get all upset, Shaka, because you're on an island right now.
And an island with Mark Ogden.
At least I know if anything's chasing us on an island, I'll get away. I'll be all right. They'll catch Jan.
Nathan, why have you got that look on your face?
Oh, all right.
That's his look.
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what it is? It's just because of Mark Ogden. Like, he's really happy with United so far. It's freaking me out a little bit. This is the guy who I knew that was so dour on them, so down on them all the time. But now I think he's not only does he want them to win, he thinks they're going to win as well. But yeah, I can't see that, to be honest. But you never know with football. I think obviously they got away with a couple of those results last season. But I just feel like this Liverpool side are going to potentially tear them apart, and yeah, it's going to lead to Liverpool win, in my opinion.
You could have told Mark Ogden is dour, and that's it.
You should see their chemistry. Their chemistry on the FA Cup and the sidelines, Nathan and Mark. That's actually a double act now, right, Nathan?
That's because Nathan is special.
Well, yeah, but I think the reason we get along is because I'm very patient.
Yeah.
Like, Mark likes to rub it in my face that City don't have the history of Manchester United, which is fair, but he doesn't need to say it all the time because realistically, I don't care. But that's why the chemistry kind of happens. But yeah, I know where you're coming from.
I was shouting at the telly yesterday when Augie was talking.
Oh, it's not like you shout at the TV.
He turned round and he said, well, I think United are better this year than they were last year. Yeah. Unless there's something wrong with my ears, but he definitely said that. Did he see them? They got beat at Brighton 2-1 at the weekend. Last weekend.
I would love a pundit cam on Stevie at home on the days he's watching FC that he's not on. I think that would be prime viewing. Could be
you should have seen it yesterday.
Guys to think about. We'll be looking back at this game on tomorrow's show. Be sure to be with the crew to see how it all goes down and who's right and who's wrong. All right, transfer news and notes. Here we go, Stevie. Raheem Sterling joins Arsenal from Chelsea on loan.
You know what? I don't care what you say anymore. I'm not going to question it.
Will you apologise to me?
I'm very sorry. There's no way possible. Who's coming out?
Where's he apologising for?
Jadon Sancho joins Chelsea from United on
Who's
loan.
coming out with this nonsense? Raheem Sterling picked Arsenal. We know this is stupid.
He thought I made it up on the spot. And Ivan Toney joining Al Ahly from
24 hours
Brentford.
later, guess what?
Were you the only one that felt that strongly about it?
No.
He's the only one who's apologising, though,
Somebody was
trust
on
me.
yesterday. It was a complete 360. Mr. Burley, I think his name is. Well, actually, I can see you. I can see. I was shouting at the telly again. What are you talking about?
Yep, and I will be waiting until the end of time to get an apology from Craig Burley on that one.
That's not coming.
Yeah.
Anything stand out to you on those late transfers there? Raheem Sterling in particular, Nathan. What have you made of this Raheem Sterling going to Arsenal?
I like it, to be honest. I think given the fact that Maresca basically told him he's not good enough, to then get a call from somebody who's trying to win a Premier League title in Arteta, you know, it's a perfect move for him. I think it's a guy that he's worked with before, obviously not as manager, but it's a positive environment. You know, they don't have 1,000 players, or a manager's decided that maybe they only have 500. You know, it's good for him. I think he will have an impact. I don't know if he'll start every single game, but he'll be pulling in the same direction as everybody else, I imagine, at a club, as I say, who are on the verge of, you know, finding their identity, finding their success, and potentially, you know, being really good for a few years to come as well.
Let's look at some guys who ended up staying at their clubs in the end. A lot was talked about in the transfer window with Victor Osimhen and Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell had been linked with Fenerbahce. He'll be sticking around at Chelsea. And Victor Osimhen is staying put at Napoli. There was interest from Chelsea and in Saudi Arabia as well. He's not been included in Napoli's Serie A squad list. It's so strange to see this, Nathan. Osimhen was this name that was being touted about for so many clubs who needed a striker. It felt like his name was top of the list. And here he is staying at a club where we're not going to be seeing him play.
Yeah, it does seem crazy, to be honest, but I think again it sort of shows the idea that, you know, a club is essentially in control. They can have an asset, but until when they decide that they don't want them or they want to try and punish them, you know, they have the leverage, and we're going to see that with Osimhen now. You could say, you know, it's cutting off your nose to lose one of your best strikers, but realistically, this is what they can do. And now, you know, I'm sure most of us are Googling, like, which transfer windows are still open at this point, because they might be the only places these guys can go to. And it's a shame. But again, this is the way that football works. And I think from my side of things, looking at, say, people like Chilwell and other players who are at Chelsea, there are so many teams who've got long-term planning in play, and they try and create their budgets to be able to bring people in at the start of the window, see who can afford middle of the window and so on. But some of these names that became available, just financially and functionally, the space just isn't there. I'm sure they would have wanted to have them, but now there's going to be a whole bunch of players caught in no man's land, not able to get in with their team, but not able to go into another. And it's going to be a very, very tough few months for them. And everyone's saying, oh, you know, you're getting paid well and so on and so forth. But, you know, these people are at their best when they're playing football week in, week out, which is why so many people are interested in them. So it's a shame, but this is the business of football, and a few players will suffer because of it.
Antonio Conte and Napoli cannot be this stubborn to say, yeah, this guy cannot help us. They can't be. It can't happen. That even if the guy's going to leave, even if he's not in the future plans, look, you're still paying him. Might as well actually put him to good use and have him out there on the field and score goals and do the things that he does naturally. And they're not a good enough team to be telling Victor Osimhen, no, we don't want to include you in the squad list because you're not part of the future plans. Man, you have to be short-sighted to make this sort of decision like this.
But he's left him out of the squad. So
What I'm saying is, I know you may have your differences, but at some point you kind of go, I'm sorry, how do you win games? Scoring goals. Can this guy score goals? Yes, he can. More than most people around the world? Yes, he can. And we're still paying his contract? Yes, we are. Put him out there. Put him on the field. Actually, have him earn his contract. I just don't understand how people and managers and coaches and teams get to this sort of decision.